Too stupid? Isn't that what you're going to say, Professor?
I guess I'll have to turn my 1950s radio show off. Where am I? Am I in Alaska? Why am I dressed like a fucking asshole? Scarf? A Rwanda? That's what it's called. Inside the house? Oh boy. Where do I begin? It's been a while. It's been a while. Well, you don't know that it's been a while. You see my videos as they come out, and sometimes they're 2 months old, but you think it's from that morning. Does that make sense? It's early, 7 o'clock. Usually at this hour, I listen to late 50s, early 60s radio shows. Yes. I want to make a joke like a 7-year-old single gay man would, but I don't know any 7-year-old gay men anymore. I used to know a few. 2. Separate. They didn't know each other. Yeah, I'm scooping up the cat shit right now. Alright. Turned off the internet last night. I've been turning off the internet every night. You know what I mean by that? Sure you do. Unplug the router and the modem after you retire for the night. You go to sleep, right? 4 cat boxes to scoop. It's no simple task. Phony already. Phony at 7 in the morning. But do I have to be phony at 7 in the morning? What if I'm not phony? What if this is just me? See, I dress like an asshole inside my house like this because I haven't turned the heat on yet. Well, you're a cheapskate. Well, not really. I'm like, I don't know. There's something I like about getting accustomed to the elements. You know how I have my cat patio for my cats? So my bedroom is perpetually open, right? Like the screen door is closed, but I got cold air coming in. I can't believe it. You think you live in cities, you live in New York, you live in LA. You gotta wake up to some other prick's alarm clock, right? Anybody? You ever done that? I can't fucking stand it. In fact, I used to have an air horn. I bought an air horn for my neighbor. He was snoozing for like an hour, which, you know what, to be fair, that's his right. Do whatever the fuck you want in your apartment. However, when your alarm clock is by the window, and when your window's open, and when your window's right next to my window's open, and I close it, it still is loud. That doesn't, it's not kosher, as the expression goes. You're driving me fucking nuts now. You're making me feel homicidal every morning. So I bought an air horn when I lived in New York, and I gotta tell you, it worked. That motherfucker woke up, and he got the fucking hint. So I live by a bunch of old motherfuckers now, and I live by these old motherfuckers, and one of them's got an alarm clock. I don't think it's my neighbor Glenn, who I actually like a lot. I think it's this other motherfucker that lives behind me. And you know why? Because Glenn doesn't strike me as somebody who would snooze. If he does, Glenn, if you end up watching this, I know sometimes you watch my videos, you got the right to snooze and fuck whatever I'm saying, to be honest. But this other cocksucker, he's actually also really nice. He was at my house once. He said something really cool about cats. Right? So I'm not just like spouting off nonsensically about something here. This is another thing I do. I basically hang out in the dark in the morning. I'll crank up the exposure on the camera so you don't realize how dark it is in here. It's starting to get warm though. I'm heating up now. So anyhow, oh God, isn't this interesting? Isn't this a fascinating, captivating, compelling story that I'm telling? Yeah, so my neighbor has an alarm clock that goes off half hour before mine does. That's 6:30 instead of 7. And I'm like, what do I do? Think about throwing a toy at his house. Like just throwing a fucking toy, like a toy truck at his house. I'm not gonna do that. I think about the air horn, but I'm not gonna do that. So they say that. You know, do you say that? Do you use the expression they say? You know, a buddy of mine told me a saying recently. He said, my grandpa said there's two kinds of people that take apart a watch. A clock, or a watchmaker. He said again, there's two kinds of people that take apart a watch. A watchmaker and an asshole. I have to say, I really like the expression, but it's pretty, that's you, Chris Cooper. I don't know if you watch my shit anymore, but it's a good expression, but at the same time, it's pretty anti-discovery, intellectual, discovery, almost anti-science, because at the end of the day, all scientists are people who are basically asking the question, why is the sun yellow? Why does the watch tick? Why, and so on. I don't know, you can learn a lot by taking something apart. So I also think that expression is kind of bullshit. What, I'm all the way over here now? What is this video? What am I talking about? There it is. Self-doubt. Classic self-doubt. I guess I'll bring the camera with me here as I sweep this part of the floor so I'm not too far away. Right? You know, I wanted to do something more abstract. Yeah, because I had something planned. That's right. I was like filling up cat water dishes and making a big plan of some creative abstract video. All right, here it is. Anger, depression, sadness, despair, disillusionment, sorrow, fear. Oh yes, fear. Regret. Anxiety. Longing. Hopes and dreams. Wishes. Did you turn the video off now? I figure like everybody turned the video off like 20 seconds ago. At a minimum, I should say. A lot of you probably just turned it off right away. Oh yes. So what about, I thought I was doing some abstract thing. Happiness, joy, contentment, fulfillment, well-being, sense of well-being, religious discovery, belief in the supernatural. You know, I'll tell you something about the supernatural. I've been thinking about it again lately. And you know what that means? I've been talking about it again. You know what that means? A lot of motherfuckers have been getting kind of frustrated with me. Because I want to ask questions. You know, I'm sorry that I refer to what most people want to believe are religious truths, and they refer to them as like religious truths. I call it religious myth. You know, isn't that the scientific perspective? Religious myth, the creation of religious myth by mankind, by the animal mankind. So I've been interested in the supernatural, and I'm interested in this notion that people don't want to refer to religious phenomenon as being supernatural, which is like, huh? At first I'm like, huh? Buddy, Mr. Show. First time I saw it, I was like, huh? So for them, I guess supernatural is like vampires, witches, werewolves, something like evil, which is interesting, and I guess on some level I get, but it's odd to me that like so-called matters of the spirit, the actual idea that a spirit exists at all, is not considered supernatural. Spiritual, everybody likes that word. God knows the people who, I'm doing air quotes here, aren't into organized religion, more into spirituality. God knows that they like the word spiritual. I don't know. I've just gotten to a place where I don't believe in anything supernatural. primarily because there's no factual or empirical suggestion that it exists. Like, not like a little bit or it's lacking, there's none. So then people like to say, oh, well, science and empirical truths, that's just one way of looking at things. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm aware. But it's kind of, to me, if you go with the one, what is this? I had a meditation book, and you know what the publisher is called? Feels True. And I thought, wow, pretty interesting, because that is the very thing that kind of drives people's so-called spiritual beliefs or beliefs in spirituality, is the fact that it feels true to them. That's it. I mean, okay, that's not it. It's also personal experience, which kind of lines up with the notion of something feeling true. It's personal experience, and it's the body of everybody else's feelings, perspectives, and personal experience on a matter. But unfortunately, I have not ever seen anything fact-based, right? Remember, they were like, back in the day, when they were still killing scientists and burning witches and shit. Remember those? A couple years back, we weren't alive. You read about it now. You know, and I'm not an expert, but what I wanted to say is, they were looking for the soul. Come on, they weren't looking for it. Those motherfuckers were like, where's the soul? Can I find it? Did I discover it? Where is it? Where is it in the body? Medical doctors and scientists who, because of the state of things back then, basically were still forced to be religious believers. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. This is just how it's been relayed to me through the things I read. They were basically still had to be religious thinkers. So they thought there was a soul and they wanted to find it. And you know what? I don't think they do that anymore. Is that right? Is there like large amounts of scientific study being done, big funded university studies where they're trying to find the soul? See if it's in your neck, right? Remember they used to think it was in your neck? No, they're not spending. Oh shit! They're not spending a whole lot of money trying to find the soul anymore. Why? Because they're like, there's no suggestion that there is one. All right, this is like, you do that. I just keep a snot rag in my drawer. I live alone. Is anybody ever gonna open the drawer? Oh my God, a snot rag. You should get a prize if you're still listening to this, like at least 50 cents to $50. All right, enough with the religious, the spiritual talk. Where am I going with it? What am I gonna achieve? What am I gonna conclude? It's interesting to me. I know this perspective sucks. I'm opening the fridge, I'm sweeping the floor. But you know what I've been aware of lately is I had made a bunch of YouTube videos, right? Like I scheduled a bunch of them. They were going for quite a while. You know, I have a new video every Monday. Well, it takes work, right? And you gotta have content. But I had so much content I cut together, and I still have more. I've just been busy with my album still, if you can believe that. I needed a new video. I needed to talk about something, you know? All right, what else is it? You want to hear a little bit about my album? It's been a struggle. Let me just say that. It's been a goddamn struggle, is what it's been. It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. It's almost done. I really do mean almost. I'll tell you, here's what you'll find interesting if you're still listening. The artists. Oh man, I've never had such a tough time hiring people as I have with the artwork for this album. And you know what it's like? Contractors. And you know what? Let me say something. I got an email drafted to Greg DeLiso. You make it this far, Greg? I know sometimes you watch. I kind of doubt you made it this far. This video is kind of boring. But I got an email drafted. I got a couple of them actually. This one is me saying, "Hey man, I'm hiring these motherfuckers to make the art for my album, and nobody seems to be able to do what I want." He is, said it before and I say it again, a great visual artist, one of the best. Very unique style, very aligned with my own in a lot of ways. Hold on, I'm getting these dishes, I'm getting one for the other room, I'm talking to myself, I'm in the house. All right, I'll take you with me. So anyhow, here's what you might, you're gonna find this really interesting. So why say it then? Why say it? These fucking artists, man. One of them, first one, the deposit came through, the down payment, and the fucking timeline just slowed down. He actually did a pretty okay job, but in the end, it wasn't what I wanted. That's not even his fault, but I lost faith, had to move on to somebody else. This, you know what? This story already tanked. It's fucking not interesting. Damn, maybe morning videos suck unless I actually have something to say. I need somebody here to say, "Duh, you think?" Do you think that if you don't have something to say and you don't have an idea, it's a good idea to fucking turn on the camera and make a video? Suppose not. Suppose not. But isn't that, podcasts, right? Hey, how was your weekend? Oh, did you and Jody go to that new restaurant that you guys wanted to try? Oh, and how was it? Yeah, because I read they had like a lot of soapy pippins there. Yeah, no, they said they had soapy pippins and geepy-geepies. Oh, shut up. No, we had a good weekend. Me and Bilbo were just... I can't fucking stand that about podcasts, That's why I like some of the true crime podcasts like Sword and Scale are really cool. Because it's just one guy. It's a team. It's a team. But, it's a fucking team of people who made something that's just kind of good. And they don't talk about their fucking weekend. Can't stand that. But that's what people like, right? It's just my preference. Some people really they love that it's a fucking hang, right? Want to hear about. Because they're lonely, because the whole world's lonely. Look at me in a house by myself. 6 cats. What am I doing, Yeah. Some night, maybe you're interested in what this is. This is steak. Tiki gets cooked steak every morning with his breakfast. Oh, but is that good for him? Look, he fucking demands it. It's part of his lifestyle at this point. Nothing makes him as happy. He's a very good cat. And you know what? How long is a cat's life? How much joy do they get? Do you do anything special to make them happier than they were before? Yeah, you give them a home, feed them. To me, that's just like the bare minimum. What about it? People like to think of human beings as the only creature who self-actualization matters to, right? Everybody else, they don't have it. They don't even like to think of human beings as animals. You're aware of this? People like to say, oh, we're like animals, or here's how we're different than animals. And I'm like, bitch, I'm sorry. I'm like, bitch, look at that's for a guy or a girl. It doesn't mean a girl. Would you please go consult we use Google. Everybody likes, you know what? Here's the funny thing about Google. Everybody loves to Google search, right? Oh no, I read on Google, breastfeeding is not good for you anymore. It's no different. They like to read, here, little Moki Moke wants a piece of steak. People love to use Google to cite information until it's something that either challenges their own logic or is an opposing viewpoint, and then all of a sudden, oh, but where did you read that? Was it Google? It's like, yeah, I read it in the same place that you fucking get all your information from. It's not factual all of a sudden, it's not credible, it's not reliable, not to be trusted. All right, it's interesting, right? People certain things people want to believe so fucking badly. What? Oh, like what? What does he mean? My classic joke. To say like what does he mean means you still have to be listening. And I think my sister is, and probably not many other people. Ono might be still listening. Some people who get something out of what I have to say. So what do I mean? Some people want to believe it's almost a kind of chauvinism, right? And I don't mean like male chauvinism, I just mean like geographic chauvinism. What does that mean? So, you know, people, the place they live. My town's the best. I love my town. I live in the best place. And you're like, yeah, I don't know. It's got this, that, and this other problem.
Ah, where did you read that? That's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of liberal bullshit.
Or the opposite. You say something about a lib town. It's all a bunch of MAGA. What do they call them? Magtards? What is it again? I know about libtard. They got a term for the MAGA guys too. Is it just magatard? I don't know. But I think you know what I'm getting at. People, anyhow, yeah, they want to believe that the place they live in is the best no matter what. You say something, doesn't matter if it's honest or not, you say something less than flattering about it, people get all up in arms. What's another thing they want to believe? They want to believe they're right. Ooh, boy. Is that at the top of the list? Or am I wrong or am I wrong? Oh, yes. I mean, I could do a whole video. Hold on one second. Be right back. Alright, coming back in. Here I am. As if you cared. Here you go, baby. Oh, yes. People want to believe they're right. I don't even think I need to say anything about that. But I will say, that's an interesting one to me. Because not everybody has it. I think most people do. It's just part of the human condition. It's like when you meditate, right? People are, but I couldn't stop thinking. Well, that's not the point. As human, you're not supposed to be able to stop thinking. It's like an evolutionary mechanism that stops you from not thinking. Here, baby, right there. So anyhow, they want to be right. Why do we want to be right? I'm assuming, I'm guessing, I'm speculating that we want to be right. We want to believe that we're right because otherwise we would be wrong. What would that mean? We're bad? We're not smart? We're not skilled? We're not worthy? We don't deserve... I can spit in my sink. We don't deserve what? To have a family, to have kids, to be loved, to feel safe, to be wanted. We don't deserve that if we're wrong. So I don't know what it is. And again, there's a reason I said speculating. But it's pretty clear. You don't have to talk to too many people before, you don't have to age too much before you establish the fact that when you talk to people, if you point out or suggest that they're wrong about something that they either believe or the way they live, it's not considered a friendly thing to do. Wow. Feeling like this was really... That's the other half of the videos now. The first half is me saying something, criticizing myself, talking, and then the last half is me talking. The other half, not the last half, because it's not in sequential order. The other half of the video is just me talking about how this video sucks and how no one's gonna watch it. Seems desperate. But you know what? I put it all out there, baby. Let it all hang out, as the expression goes. Where the fuck did they get that? What does that mean? Let it all hang out. Does that mean if you got a fat gut? Wow. I gotta say, in the dark, this looks pretty fucking cool. Alright, let it all hang out. Does that mean if you have a fat stomach, you hold it in when you go on a date? Then you let it all hang out once you get home? That's interesting. It's a little bit brighter here. And I do mean a little bit. What else could it mean, let it all hang out? Boring. Video's gonna have to end. I am grasping at straws. Alright. Anyhow, I don't know. I feel like if somebody listened to this, like my mom and my sister and no one else, and oh no, maybe Chris Kubert, Igor, you did not make it this far. Is that funny that I have like 4 people to reference? Because I don't think anybody else really watches my shit. All right, later.